Now we'll watch a compilation of crazy moments, filmed just seconds before everything went wrong. From a simple mistake to a catastrophe. This is Eternity Lab, the laboratory of timeless content. Eternity Lab. It is strange to drill a hole above your head without assuming that the result will not be long in coming. Sometimes it happens that the day gets off to a bad start from the very beginning. The ceiling collapses, and now there is no other business. Or one could say it this way: on unlucky days, everything can go wrong from the very ceiling. Idle turns into a nightmare in a second when a septic tank, having just pumped out someone's sewage, crashes on your quiet street. When you see the roof of the house across the street completely collapsing in wintry bad weather, what do you have time to think? That your house is next? Or do you feel sorry for the neighbors? Fortunately, all residents were safe at that moment. A terrible storm is raging in the city. What do you think it will take with it? Yes, you are looking in the right direction. It rips the roof off the building like sticky tape off a box. When hurricane-force winds rage among the towers of a metropolis, they tear panels off walls like labels off packaging. After the explosion, the pipe started falling not where it was expected, whether the calculations failed or luck simply turned away, but the demolition had more unfortunate consequences than use. The massive cooling tower structure looks like a crumpled paper cup when it is demolished. It seemed that with one movement the demolition could be completed. But even while falling, the tank was hatching a cunning plan of revenge, and it worked. This tower clearly had weak legs. It's even strange that they held it up until the demolition. This tower was also slated for demolition, but for some reason at the last moment it decided to dance. Precise demolition was organized as a first-class show. This work is truly very pleasant to watch. And this demolition deserves to be a scene in an action movie. There was a structure, and now it's gone. The building was slated for demolition due to its emergency condition, but all residents of the area were evacuated beforehand. With such dense development, this is not an easy task. It is not easy to demolish buildings in densely populated areas, when, for example, you need to remove an entire section of a house. Builders would be extremely offended seeing the result of their work destroyed in such a merciless manner. The flood decided to redraw the map of the area, and it does not need a bridge here. Awesome. This bridge also collapsed after a powerful flood. Fortunately, everyone managed to step back before the passage was completely cut off.
There we go.
And this bridge was blown up to be replaced with a new one. It all happened in a matter of seconds and according to plan, although it looks like sabotage. Why do people love to be near places where something is collapsing? A scenic view decided to show signs of life and conduct a small landscape update. A massive rock decided to lose weight, and it did not go without spectators and active commentators. Fortunately, they were observing from a safe distance. And again, someone found themselves in an advantageous position as an observer, but not a participant in nature's updates. Undermining is dangerous business. One scoop and now you are being chased. Witnesses observed this scene from a considerable distance, so the exclamations were mostly admiring. This is what the consequences of a landslide look like.
Fortunately, the house residents were evacuated in advance.
First, the lower support falls, and then what is called the domino effect inevitably must happen. At least it is known that the house was empty and no one was hurt. And here we observe the wind playing with containers that resemble children's building blocks. A wind turbine fell victim to a lightning strike. This caused a fire to break out on it, and the wind turbine fell to the ground. There can be such strong wind that it topples massive power line structures. Here we have a squall mercilessly destroying a large field with solar panels. And here we observe a macro version of the domino effect. The annoyance is that the cranes did not just fall, they broke. The crane failed and loading on water turned into an accident. One push and the collapse begins. Huge cranes fall into the water, dangerously close to the vessel that provoked it. The crane falls in stages. It folds on the way down. A construction crane, when falling, literally sticks, as they say, nose first into the ground. An alarm signal warns of an emergency situation. It is good that it exists for such cases. Safety in the port leaves much to be desired, but I am also glad to report that no one was injured in this mess. Hello, today we watch number 1. During loading onto the deck, the crane could not hold the heavy vehicle. The fastening broke, and then the truck's structure began to disassemble itself like a construction set. When a metal tower falls, the main thing is not just to run fast, but to choose the right direction. Right in front of the crossing barrier, a tank car of a freight train overturned. It's good if there was nothing flammable inside. And here we have a dangerous incident. Cars are blocked at the crossing and cannot quickly leave the place where tank cars with explosive substances are derailing. The danger of this collision is that the steam locomotive did not go along the switch, but crashed into a bumper and pierced its hull, and there, as is known, is the steam boiler. It is annoying how the man destroyed his car, while someone found it funny. Clearly not the owner. This is what happens if you cut the branch you are sitting on. Does not the excavator hanging in the air somewhat resemble a yellow scorpion? The water tank finished its service to its own loud applause. This fall will definitely leave a mark in the memory of witnesses. Fortunately, the tank was empty. Let us hope there was nothing fragile inside this container. A fire broke out in the generator and began to spread quickly. And again, thanks to a fortunate coincidence, there were no casualties. An emergency at the airport. An aircraft fire. I am glad to report that no one was injured except the aircraft. Everything is as in an apocalyptic prophecy. Fire will begin to fall from the sky. The yacht pierced the pier, but did not just scratch its hull, it managed to destroy a whole row of other boats. It seems like it just slightly bumped into the pier, but you can sink even near the shore. The mast broke, but the crew was not injured. By some miracle, no one was hit. Those on the small boat did not even see the large vessel approaching. It covered them like the shadow of the earth during an eclipse. Fortunately, no one was injured in the collision. A matter of minutes, and the huge vessel disappears under the waves without a trace. The evacuated crew watches it with sad glances. A house right by the sea has a chance to look the storm straight in the face. This time, no one became its victim, but it is better not to stand on the ground floor platforms or balconies.
Avalanche! Avalanche!
This man equipped his GoPro camera just in time. A second later, he witnessed a massive avalanche. It is good that there was communication. He was able to warn the others and report his location, and film impressive video for us. When fighter jet engines start working, it is better to get farther away. Otherwise, you will simply be blown off your spot. The road in front of the tunnel begins to turn into a hole, and then into an abyss altogether. This was a bad day for the parked cars. The ground gave way under their wheels, but a good one for the owners. They were elsewhere. Loading fragile materials is always risky, and here a whole waterfall of losses falls upon the driver for one wrong move. More precisely, a glass fall. Suddenly, the workday turns into force majeure. While people are frantically thinking how to stop the breach, the jet fiercely gushes into the hall, covering the floor with abundant foam and beer. Someone's move did not happen because the belongings did not want to move to the new place and started a sabotage. You should not accelerate the treadmill too much. Probably at a home party, you will not be able to keep up with it. Which video seemed the most interesting to you? Or perhaps became your story of the day? Write to us about it in the comments. This is the channel Eternity Lab, a laboratory of eternally relevant content. Thank you for watching this video. Also, watch our previous episodes.